Greetings and welcome to day 19 of my Essential Series, Trust. Dr. Q English here. Let me ask you a question. Have you ever participated in team building exercises? There's this one exercise where you go to an open space, lay out a number of obstacles on the ground, cones and chairs, and then you pair your employees together and make one of them wear a blindfold. And the purpose here is to have the employee who can see verbally direct the blindfolded peer across the minefield to the other side without running into anything. So the blindfolded staffer can't talk. So they have to rely on close listening and coworker trust only. And that game is called Minefield. So it's focused on listening skills and trust. You have to be quiet if you want to listen closely. Close listening requires silence. The coworker had obstacles, but yet he was blindfolded in the situation. Perhaps if he didn't have the blindfolds on in the first place, he could get there on his own, his destination, that is. But the purpose of the exercise was to relay the message that we need one another. And if we're going to be successful, we have to be successful together. But you also need to know that God will allow us to feel like things are dim, like that feeling of lights out, because we've been so darn independent. And He's saying, when are you going to shift, trying to walk blindfolded through this minefield when I'm here ready to give you instructions to reach your destination? You don't have to be as one groping in the dark. But it is, however, going to require you to develop your listening skills, because sometimes we're just too noisy. God spoke to Elijah at Mount Horeb, and He said, "Go forth and stand on the mountain before the Lord." And behold, the Lord was passing by, and a great strong wind was rending the mountains and breaking in pieces the rocks before the Lord. But the Lord was not in the wind. And after the wind, an earthquake. But the Lord was not in the earthquake. After the earthquake, a fire. But the Lord was not in the fire. And after the fire, a sound of a gentle blowing. When Elijah heard it, he wrapped his face in his mantle and went out and stood in the entrance of the cave. And behold, a voice came to him and said, "What are you doing here, Elijah?" What did Elijah hear? The sound of a gentle blowing. So we have to stop looking for a loud noise. We seek it because everything around us is loud. We want the answer to be just as loud so we can keep it moving. Because we got this wrong. Because the most effective means of communication is in your ability to listen. What am I saying today? You and I have to trust God with our lives, even if we feel like we're walking blindfolded. Because He's got a way out, but you're going to have to trust Him. Then there's this team building exercise where you instruct a large group to stand in two lines facing each other. Have them extend their arms out so that they intersect. And the person at the end of the line will then walk down the gauntlet. Each team member will raise their arms to allow for safe passage. The activity is also known as the trust wave because the person passing under the tunnel and through the arms has to be brave and rely on the others raising their arms in time. The team building exercise is called slice and dice. And man, that requires a lot of trust. And doesn't that sound familiar? Because our walk with God requires a lot of trust. Knowing that no matter the season, no matter how difficult the task may seem, no matter what it looks like today, you can trust God to see you through. Won't you trust Him today? God bless. Let me leave you with this scripture. Jeremiah 29:11 says, "For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans for welfare and not for evil, to give you a future and a hope."
You have been listening to Dr. Q English. Follow her on social media at Facebook at Q English and on Instagram at Q English. Continue to listen to our daily series.